State Representative Adam Smith. He is the ranking member on the House Armed Services Committee and one of the very first lawmakers who called for President Biden to drop out. Congressman, you are known for being a straight shooter and being very, very frank. So let me ask you, what do you think putting Kamala Harris, the vice president, at the top of the ticket does for the prospects for your party come November?
It shoots a huge jolt of life into the campaign. I mean, look, for several years now, voters have been lamenting the choices that they've had. And look, to some degree, that's the case no matter who's at the top of the ticket. America's always looking for something new, but now we've just given it to them. Kamala Harris is a very accomplished person, you know, a very capable public speaker. She's got a great record to run on. I think it jolts the campaign in a way that it needs to be jolted. And I look forward to her getting out there and delivering that message effectively. And let me just also say that I thank Joe Biden for making this decision. It wasn't easy, very difficult for him, very difficult for the campaign. He made the right decision, which only adds, I think, to his incredible record of public service.
And we should give that service and that record its due, I understand. But we are in the midst and so close to an election. There are so many questions about what becomes possible. It was as far back as February that you, sir, publicly were acknowledging that President Joe Biden didn't have energy on the campaign trail. They didn't have energy after that debate. Democrats didn't have unity. Do you get both of those things back? I think you're saying you at least get energy. But where do you think that Democrats need to be focused right now in trying to explain their message?
Yes, I think we do get both of those things back. I think we get unity. Look, Donald Trump has been the greatest unifying factor in the history of the Democratic Party, and that hasn't changed. I mean, we saw the unhinged speech that he gave just a week ago. Republicans should be calling for him to step down as their nominee based on that speech. We will be unified. And look, our message is one of opportunity. Our message is one of representative democracy and preserving it, standing up for equality, for rights for women, which Kamala Harris has been a great spokesperson for. Donald Trump wants to cut taxes on the rich and corporations and increase tariffs so that working people pay more money. Our economic message is about working people and opportunity. Kamala Harris has been delivering that message as a senator, as a vice presidential candidate for a long time. I think she's going to continue to be a very effective messenger, and now at the top of the ticket.
Well, Congressman, can I ask you, though, because we're already seeing these attack lines from adversaries overseas and from Republicans, that Democrats covered up the truth. Is that what happened? Or did something change more immediately with Joe Biden that led over the past 3 weeks? Was it just that one debate? Or what forced many of you to come out publicly and say that he needed to step aside?
Sure, the big factor you're forgetting is the State of the Union speech. Okay, the whole world saw the State of the Union speech, and that was March. Okay, and President Biden gave an energetic speech. He responded to stuff from the audience. He looked good
through the primary process, sir. I mean, Democrats chose, but that was already through the primary process. That there was not a vibrant, there wasn't a very strong challenge to Joe Biden, your critics would say.
You're kind of missing my point here, I think.
Well, your point was that he looked like he had energy in March, I think is your point.
Right, yeah, which was right in the middle of the primary process.
But did you just put off a painful conversation for too long?
Look, no, and part of it is because of what happened in March. And look, everyone's going to be like, I don't know, a couch potato doctor at this point going, well, we all knew. No, I mean, it's hard to diagnose people. Look, I went through a massive healthcare problem, anxiety problem, hip problem, pain. I went to I don't know how many different doctors before they figured that out. Okay, so yeah, well over 100 as a matter of fact. So the notion that somehow we could have diagnosed President Biden from a distance when, again, the State of the Union speech was incredibly strong. Now, after that, we started to see some troubling signs culminating in the debate. So no, we didn't hide anything. You can't hide the president. He was out there, okay? And then when it reached the point where we saw that his health had declined, the party made the right choice, and Joe Biden made the right choice. So we didn't hide anything. The decision was made, I think, at the right time.
Because you said in February he does not have the normal strength to go out there and campaign, do rally after rally and conversation after conversation. Yeah. This will be difficult on the campaign trail. Were you privately one of those Democrats who wanted to have this conversation earlier than 3
No,
weeks ago.
you're slightly misconstruing my remarks. That's what I said on CNN on the morning interview.
Yeah, I'm reading the transcript.
Right, understood. And I want to add the context. This was after Joe Biden came out and did that press conference, impromptu press conference, after the special prosecutor issued that report that was, basically saying, well, he doesn't have a good enough memory to prosecute. And we were challenging that. And I was asked by John Berman about that. And I said, look, there's no question in terms of being the vigorous, 16-hour-a-day campaigner. Joe Biden's not going to be able to do that. But I think, number one, he's doing a great job as president. He's, managing crises all around the world. And here he is showing that he can be president. And we don't have to have somebody who goes out there 16 hours a day and gives, 2 hours long rallies. I said he was strong enough to be a candidate and he was doing a great job as president. And in February, yeah, I believe that. And then we saw the State of the Union and then it changed. It changed before our eyes. We saw it and we made the right choice.
Everything is changing before our eyes. Sir, thank you very much for your candid take.